Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Live at 4. Eric Franke is helping out today. Good to see you. Thanks for your help.
Good to be back. Can't even tell you what day of the week it is.
I know.
So is that mad rush, that time before Christmas where your brain's just scrambled?
It's so true. Everything's a blur,
it's
isn't it?
Fast.
Plus a little bit of snow on the ground as well. We'll get an update on the forecast in just a little bit. But here's what's making news at midweek. The former attorney for President Trump is going to prison. What Michael Cohen is facing.
The Farm Bill now on its way to the president's desk for his signature. We'll tell you what it means for dairy farmers here in Wisconsin.
And how a program to help Madison students earn college credit while finishing high school. Let's take a look outside today. It was cloudy, a little snowy, and I guess tonight we're going to have to watch out for some fog as well.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird little bit of everything we've got going on.
As a matter of fact, those are the weather words. The pavement is a little slippery, just enough of that snow and a little bit of freezing drizzle. Let's head out to the weather patio. Dave Caulfield is watching the forecast. Hi, Dave.
Hey, Susan and Eric. Yeah, we'll have to watch out for that fog and maybe some freezing drizzle tonight because with that snow that we received earlier today, temperatures actually got above freezing. Now they're below freezing again. And with all this topsy-turvy temperature stuff and with the snow on the ground, that is helping with the formation of that fog and a little bit of freezing drizzle. Actually, on the patio over the last 5 minutes or so, I've seen a couple of snowflakes and some raindrops. So in some spots, especially a little bit closer to Milwaukee, it's not out of the question that we see some more slick roads for the evening commute as well. Doppler track showing the bulk of that snow well off to the north and east, but that low pressure system close enough to us to get a little bit of lift and could cause some issues this evening. So a winter weather advisory just issued over the last 30 minutes or so for the counties you see shaded in purple, namely in our area, Dodge and Jefferson. But especially if you're heading to Milwaukee tonight, keep that in mind that a couple of slick roads are possible. And that fog could obscure some visibility. Right now, the visibility is about 2.5 miles in Madison, 1 in Juneau, and 1.5 in Watertown. Temperatures are right around 30 degrees, but they'll stay pretty steady in the upper 20s tonight. You can see that fog still showing up in Madison on the WISC-TV Skycam. And so those temperatures, as I mentioned, kind of falling a little bit through the upper 20s, but not that much. So it's really important that you stay alert on the roadways, especially into this evening and tonight. No major problems showing up closer to Milwaukee and no major accidents or incidents to report across Dane County, which is good news. But again, some slick roads are possible. We're starting to see those normal slowdowns on the Beltline for this time of the afternoon in both directions, looking pretty slow closer to Rimrock Road and John Nolan Drive, and starting to see some of those brake lights closer to Broadway and also Stoughton Road and the interstate. So eastbound Verona Road to John Nolan Drive, that's 7 minutes, a little bit slow. Average speed of around 35 miles per hour. Some other routes in and around Madison, the Beltline to Janesville, that's looking good right now, about 30 minutes for that trip. Average speed of around 65 miles per hour. That's your first alert traffic update. I do have good news. I'm going to talk about possibly the nicest weekend in about 2 months coming up in just a few minutes.
We love the sound of that, Dave Caulfield. Thanks, Dave. We'll check in shortly.
Thanks,
First
Dave.
at 4, President Trump's former personal attorney made an emotional statement in federal court.
But the judge said Michael Cohen lost his moral compass and sentenced him to 3 years in prison. Kenneth Craig reports from New York.
Michael Cohen arrived at the courthouse with his wife and 2 children. Inside, he fought back tears, apologizing for crimes he committed as President Trump's personal attorney. He told the judge he felt it was his duty to cover up the president's dirty deeds, and that blind loyalty led him to take a path of darkness instead of light. Cohen had hoped to avoid prison in exchange for providing information to special counsel Robert Mueller. But the judge sentenced him to 3 years in prison, saying Cohen's assistance does not wipe the slate clean. Cohen had pleaded guilty to tax evasion and making illegal hush money payments on Mr. Trump's behalf, plus a charge from Mueller's office for lying to Congress. In asking for leniency, Cohen's attorney said not only did he cooperate with the government, he offered evidence against the most powerful person in the country. Reaction came quickly on Capitol Hill on what it means for President Trump and the Russia investigation.
Anytime a former lawyer of yours goes to jail is probably not a good day, but I've yet to see any evidence coming from Mr. Cohen of collusion.
It does not speak directly to collusion, that's correct, but it should give all of us pause about what may be next.
Cohen once said he would take a bullet for his boss, but after he flipped, President Trump called him a weak person and a liar. Kenneth Craig for WISC News 3.
Cohen was ordered to surrender in March. His prison term will be followed by 3 years of supervised release.
And shortly after the sentencing, the U.S. Attorney's Office announced it will not prosecute the National Enquirer's parent company over its efforts to suppress an embarrassing story about Donald Trump during the 2016 presidential campaign. The tabloid publisher admitted it was trying to influence the election by protecting Donald Trump by making a $150,000 payment to a model, quote, in concert with the Trump campaign with the intent of influencing the election. The publisher said it would cooperate with federal prosecutors in any investigation.
President Trump and Congress have just over a week left to reach a deal to avoid a government shutdown. The president is sticking to his ultimatum to congressional Democrats: fund the border wall or he'll shut down the government. With Democrats taking over the House next month, some Republicans say the border wall must be dealt with now.
I don't want to shut the government down. I want to do everything I can to avoid it.
It remains the great remaining task of the 115th Congress.
House Republicans alone could pass a bill this year with border wall funding, but the Senate, which requires 60 votes, needs a measure that can win bipartisan support. We're taking a closer look at how a national farm bill would impact Wisconsin.
Within the last hour, the U.S. House of Representatives easily passed this $867 billion measure, sending it to the president's desk. Rose Schmidt joins us to share how it could help the agriculture industry in our state. Rose?
Well, a member of the Edge Dairy Farmer Cooperative tells me the biggest impact on Wisconsin farmers would likely be in terms of risk management tools, meaning helping farmers adjust to changing market conditions. With milk and commodity prices so low, the Farm Bill would give farmers the option to buy a type of insurance product that would essentially cover the difference between what it costs to produce milk and what farmers are actually being paid for it. But opponents criticize the Farm Bill for allowing distant relatives to qualify for those insurance products, not just the farmers themselves. But supporters say it could give farmers a safety net as Wisconsin loses hundreds of dairy farms each year. Research hubs like UW-Madison could even receive federal money for new dairy research.
So this gives farmers a little bit more certainty in a period of kind of uncertain economic times when it comes to a lot of commodity prices and the global trade situation.
The bill would also legalize industrial hemp as a crop across the country. It became legal to grow hemp in Wisconsin last year, but Holy Vote says the Farm Bill would make it easier for local hemp farmers to do business across a broader area. And Wisconsin's 2 U.S. senators are split on this Farm Bill, with U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin voting for it and Senator Ron Johnson voting against it. And Representative Rob Kind also voted against it.
All right, Rose Schmidt, the News Center. Rose, thank you. French authorities have identified the suspect who is still on the run after a shooting near a Christmas market in the city of Strasbourg. Police are looking for 29-year-old Sharif Shakat. He was being monitored as a suspected religious radical by French intelligence services. 2 people were killed. A dozen others were hurt when the suspect fired into the crowd at that market that draws thousands of tourists every year. Madison College and the Madison Metropolitan School District are teaming up, helping high school students complete their high school diploma while earning college credit.
Our Keely Arthur is here with details on this new program.
Well, officials say this is a game changer. Madison students are finishing high school while simultaneously earning enough college credit for an associate's degree. The kicker, it's free of charge. This is a dual enrollment program called STEM Academy. Right now, 26 Madison Metropolitan School District juniors are taking all their classes at Madison College and will do so through their senior year. These are college-level courses, all meant to give some students a leg up.
The idea is that students can earn high school credit and college credit free of charge, so that when they graduate high school, they have up to 40 to 60 college credits. That means they can continue on in their post-secondary career.
The Madison School District is covering the costs. They hope to expand the program to 100 teens by next year, prioritizing students of color and from low-income backgrounds. And someday this might go beyond Madison students. Madison College says they are talking to other districts, including Sun Prairie, right now.
All right, exciting program. Keely Arthur, thank you, Keely.
Thank you, Keely. First Lady Melania Trump made a historic flight while visiting military families at Langley Air Force Base. The First Lady spent part of the day flying over areas of Virginia and the Atlantic Ocean in a V-22 Osprey. The Osprey is a massive military flight machine that can fly longer ranges like a plane while also having the ability to land and take off like a helicopter. Langley Air Force Base was the second of 3 stops the First Lady made today to visit the troops and to thank them for their service.
More to come at 4. Lisa Briggs is along with some holiday ideas.
And British Prime Minister Theresa May wins her party's no confidence vote. That's when Live at 4 continues.
British Prime Minister Theresa May is keeping her job.
She won a secret ballot vote in Parliament tonight, which means she will continue to fight for her plan for Britain to leave the European Union. The crucial vote by lawmakers in her own party threatened May's Conservative Party leadership and the future of Brexit. 200 Conservative Party members voted in favor of her, while 117 voted against her in a secret ballot. The confidence vote came just days after May postponed a vote on Brexit that faced almost certain defeat. May's compromise would hold on to Britain's close economic ties with the European Union rather than make a clean break.
Wall Street rallied today on reports that trade war tensions are lessening. The Dow gained 157 points to close at 24,527. The Nasdaq gained 66. The S&P was up 14. Well, the holiday season is here.
That means you'll likely be on the giving or receiving end of a poinsettia poinsettia, a Christmas cactus, an amaryllis, or other holiday plants, they all have special legends. And Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here to tell us more and to give us some tips for keeping our holiday plants looking their best, right?
Absolutely.
So let's start with the poinsettia.
Let's start with the poinsettia because everybody thinks that that is the quintessential holiday plant.
Yeah.
It's native to Mexico, used by the Aztecs for dye and for medicinal purposes. It was brought to the United States by our first ambassador to Mexico. His name was Joel Poinsett. So that's why it was named after him.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Are poinsettias high maintenance?
They can be a little tricky. They like a really warm spot.
Okay.
And a lot of light. And so if you have it by a window in the wintertime when there's really high light, chances are it's going to be drafty there. So you got to find that balance. They're a euphorbia, so they're not a cactus, but they like drier soils. So you want to make sure that you let it dry out thoroughly between waterings and then water it really well.
Okay. And what did you bring in front of the poinsettia?
This is ivy, and ivy, you know, you've heard the song The Holly and the Ivy.
Mm-hmm.
Ivy is sort of an evergreen plant. A lot of our legends about plants come from Western Europe, the British Isles, that sort of Celtic kind of regions. And so this was a plant that was evergreen, and so it sort of meant fidelity and, you know, the outside, bringing the green in when the weather was cold and dreary, like it is here today.
Right.
And what's the next one over there, the red, smaller flowers?
This is a cyclamen, and I couldn't find any legends about cyclamen, but they're my favorite. And they're really good for those brighter, cooler spots. So this is great for a sunny window where it's maybe a little cool. And our cyclamen come from a grower in Deerfield, Wisconsin, so they're locally grown, which is kind of fun.
Very nice.
That red one is beautiful for the
Yes,
holidays.
they come in a lot of like whites and pinks and reds, and even a kind of magenta purple color that's really lovely.
Nice.
And I love the leaves.
Yeah.
You know, they're sort of variegated and striped and all that kind of stuff.
Perfect for Christmas. Now, what's this pretty white one?
Now, this is a hellebore, and it's a garden plant in our area. It's called Christmas rose or Lenten rose here, but when I was in Europe last week, these were blooming all over Germany, outside.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that's,
Time
they
of the
usually
year, huh?
bloom around Christmas time, which is why it's become a Christmas plant. And they've been heavily hybridized, and you find really beautiful ones for the garden in the spring at the garden center.
And
So
how
that's
do you
really fun.
take care of them?
You want to keep this alive until you can put it outside because it would be happier outside. So it's going to want a cool spot, let it dry between waterings, and kind of morning light location. It doesn't like a full sun spot.
Okay.
So maybe an eastern window.
Now, you've got the rosemary here. We can definitely smell that.
You can smell the
Oh,
rosemary.
I wish you could smell this at
Yeah,
home.
it's
It's
great.
so fragrant.
And rosemary is a Mediterranean plant. It's difficult to take care of inside because there's a fine balance between too wet and too dry. But rosemary was a plant that they used, you know, to strew on the floors in the wintertime for the scent. It's a plant of remembrance and friendship.
Oh,
and so they would use it to sort of scent the air. I imagine like those medieval castles could get pretty dank.
And you can use it in the
Design.
kitchen at the end of the season.
Yes,
right?
you can.
How about this spruce tree? Now you got a little. What is this? What is this?
This is a
particular
Dwarf
spruce?
Alberta, a Dwarf Alberta spruce, and I just wanted to talk about Christmas trees a little bit. It was a German custom that came to the United States in the 1850s. When Queen Victoria married Prince Albert, he was sort of homesick at Christmas time, and so she brought a Christmas tree into the palace and decorated it with little gifts. And that was when we really started decorating Christmas trees. So that tradition came to us from the English. But
Spruce, fir, pine, they're all
fir-
acceptable, right?
Yes, I think that like Fraser and balsam firs are the most popular Christmas trees in Wisconsin. In other areas, it's spruce. Spruces are hard to keep inside. They do not like, especially the cut ones.
You end up with the needles.
You end up, they
everywhere.
drop their needles really fast. So for Christmas trees, firs have the longest needle retention.
Oh, that's good
Just
to
keep
know.
them well watered. Don't let that edge go, don't let the water level go below the cut, and you should be good.
But I love the special stories about the legends because that makes a gift of a plant like this even more meaningful.
I think so too. And you know, and a lot of them have been adopted and then adapted over time. The poinsettia the legend is that a child wanted to give the baby Jesus a present, so she got some weeds, and when she set them by the manger, they burst into flower, which is charming, but they're not native to the Middle East.
Right.
Some of these you can hang on to, like if you were gifted a spruce, take it, hold on to it until the
Put it
spring and
outside,
plant it.
absolutely, absolutely. And rosemary, if you can get it through the winter time, that's a great plant to to put on your patio or in a herb garden and then bring it in. Cyclamen will last a really long time. Ivy do. Poinsettias, you know, it's sort of tricky because to get them to reflower it's a day length issue, which is really hard for us to do indoors because we have our lights on all the time.
Right.
So I say enjoy them and then next year get a new one.
Just savor them now.
Savor them now,
that's good
yes.
advice. All right, thanks, Lise.
You're
Great
welcome.
tips.
Happy holidays.
You too.
Later in this newscast, preparing millennials for real-life adventures.
There are classes, believe it or not, to teach the basics to your teenager. We'll find out how after today's forecast.
All right, take a look at this. Kids love to ride swings and then soar through the air when they jump off. Apparently, so do some adults. Don't try this at home. Sean Chuma flips and twists his way through the air, just avoiding smashing into a cliff. We take another look. Sean pulling off this jump, leaping from an oversized swing. This is in Moab, Utah. And to add more difficulty, he purposely opens the parachute facing the cliff wall.
Oh, good, because it would be easy.
Yeah, of course. He says he was just 10 feet from the mountain when he quickly changed directions. Look at that. Wow. That is something. It is December 12th, and it is National Poinsettia Day.
That's right. As Lisa was just explaining, the poinsettia plant's connection to the Christmas season dates back to 16th century Mexico. Our poinsettias on the set look
They're
beautiful.
looking great.
And it's right in front of me, so it really...
We're trying to block you in
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
That's what we're going for
And
there.
I mean, I don't blame anyone for that. But watch out for Hansel and Gretel, not just poinsettias. It's National Gingerbread House Day. The holiday tradition of decorating gingerbread is a favorite among many, for sure, but gingerbread itself has been around a lot longer. It was actually originally used in religious ceremonies and even molded into images of saints. And we have a pretty cool gingerbread house
Yeah.
here.
We want to give a shout out to our director, Nicole, and our producer, Steph, who did this. They spent
hours.
They spent a long
Hours.
time in the newsroom today decorating this, but they did a great job. It looks terrific.
There have been a lot of, you know, my boys actually put together one of these little things. They, you know, been a popular thing for kids to do this season, put together a little gingerbread.
Yeah, have a little creativity.
Yeah, there you go.
I could never get through a whole one. I would start eating it.
You start eating all the
through,
candies
especially when you
off.
get frustrated that like things aren't sticking.
It might be a good thing to do on these days like this, weather-wise. Stay indoors, find something to do.
Yeah, gloomy next couple of days. We do have the chance of some more freezing drizzle tonight and an additional round Thursday into Friday, but I have great weekend weather. So if you just stick around, we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. Good afternoon. I hope you had a great Wednesday. We started off the day with a quick burst of snow, a little bit of freezing rain. Our time-lapse, bam, it's there in a flash on our time-lapse for Madison on the Edgewater Skycam. Then we stuck with the clouds and a little bit of fog has formed throughout this afternoon into the evening. Here's our live look in downtown Madison right now. The almanac for today. Temperatures actually got above freezing earlier this morning and afternoon, and that's actually part of the problem why we're seeing some of this freezing drizzle and fog still out there. Normal is 31, so actually a little bit above where we should be. We did record that snow today, so about 0.7 inches of liquid equivalency so far this month of December, and that gets us into second place for all-time wettest years in Madison. We need about 3.7 inches of rain or liquid equivalency to hold the #1 record, and typically in December we get about 1 3/4 of an inch of precipitation, so it would be a tall task to get to that number. I'm fine with staying in second place for now. Maybe if we can get a nice run-of-the-mill snow system that doesn't affect really anybody, I would take that at this point. Enough of this freezing drizzle garbage that we're dealing with. Unfortunately, some of us are still dealing with some freezing drizzle, and the problem is today's weather. We had the snow, and then that snow melted pretty quickly for some of us with temperatures above freezing. Then temperatures went back to below freezing as a cold front went through. So what does that equal? Some fog forming, and now that low pressure system still close enough to us to get just the tiniest amount of lift, and we still have a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, causing some of this freezing fog and freezing drizzle that we are still seeing, especially closer to Milwaukee. We're seeing visibilities of about 1 1/4 mile in Juneau, 2.5 in Watertown, 3 in Madison, and 5 in Janesville. Temperatures are right around 30 degrees. We're going to stay in the upper 20s as we head into this evening. And wind speeds, you can see where that center of the low pressure is, that spiral of counterclockwise winds, and that center right to the north and east of us. So all those combining to create the threat of some freezing drizzle tonight. And freezing drizzle is so dangerous because a lot of times we can't see it on radar. So especially in between Madison and Milwaukee, where we've already seen over the last 30 minutes or so some of that freezing drizzle develop, be very careful on the roadways, give yourself extra time, and also take it slow out there. Our high temperature trend, though, we are looking at above normal temperatures for the next 7 days straight, and this weekend, after we get through a couple more chances for some freezing drizzle, is going to be fantastic. This weekend is going to be the nicest weekend weather-wise, I think, in about 2 months in Madison. The first time we'll hit 40 in Madison in 3 weeks' time. I'll take that any day of the week, but especially for the weekend. Tonight, mostly cloudy with fog and freezing drizzle possible. Temperatures staying in the 20s. For tomorrow, a little milder. We could be dealing with some more light rain and mixed precipitation late. Highs will be in the upper 30s. So future track is a little bit mixed on the mixed precipitation coming later on tomorrow night. And right now, not really bringing too much into the Madison area, but that could change. So we could be dealing with a little bit more freezing drizzle and maybe even some light rain as we head into Thursday and into Friday. Snow potential is basically nothing, and that ice potential has moved to the south and east compared to previous model runs. So we're watching that closely, but just be weather aware as we head into tomorrow night. And then after Friday, look at that nice weather come to us. Temperatures near 40 on Saturday and on Sunday with plenty of sunshine. Sunshine sticks with us into next week as well. And then by the middle of next week, we're looking at our next chance of maybe some flurries and some snowfall as well.
Great for running errands and stuff, but not great for people looking for some snow, especially for a white Christmas, too.
Yeah, exactly. The chances are still there. Maybe we'll be talking about a little bit of snow.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
No shoveling?
You don't mind, but...
We can take pictures. We can watch movies with white Christmases.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't need to shovel that way.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Dave. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
Millennials lacking life skills like cooking, budgeting, or time management are now signing up for classes designed to teach them those basics.
You'd be good at teaching a class like that. Yeah. Laura Podesta tells us about the crash courses on adulting.
So I'm going to show you guys how to cut an onion.
At this cooking class in Queens, New York, 29-year-old Elena Tamaris says she's finally learning skills she wishes she'd been taught years ago.
I don't know, I was so used to, like, when I was living at home, my mom always cooking and me just doing simple things. And now that I'm on my own, I'm still kind of struggling with it.
She's not alone. The number of classes geared toward teaching adults how to adult is growing. Rachel Flahinger co-founded the aptly named Adulting School in Portland, Maine. This month, she's launching online classes geared toward millennials anywhere who want to know how to sew a button, understand modern art, or tell someone they love them.
How to have a relationship, how to talk to somebody, conflict resolution, how not to fight.
Experts say millennials are behind because many haven't left childhood homes. The U.S. Census Bureau says in 2015, 34% of Americans between 18 and 34 still lived with a parent. That's compared to just 26% in 2005.
It is more common than living with roommates and more common than living with a spouse.
That translates into young adults marrying later, having children later, and ultimately figuring out those crucial life skills later, too. What's the most surprising question that someone in their late 20s has come to you and asked?
I'm always surprised about people not knowing what I think are the simple things in terms of knife skills or flavors that may go together.
Chef Kim Colicchio says she's happy to keep teaching classes to help millennials catch up in the kitchen. Better late than never. Laura Podesta, CBS News, Queens, New York.
There's hope for all of them.
Now, do your kids know how to cook? Do your boys know how to cook?
Basic stuff. They're
Can
a
they
little
do
young.
laundry?
I just don't trust them. They might, set the house on fire. Laundry, yes.
Laundry they can do.
Yeah,
okay,
they're
that's
ready
good.
for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy that teenagers today don't know this basic
They're so
stuff.
busy, we don't want to teach them adulting.
Well, you can take the class.
All right, stay with us. The search for a missing Barron girl is centering on evidence collected at her parents' house.
What the state crime lab here in Madison is doing to help solve the disappearance of Jamie Kloss. That's when Live at 4 continues. There's a live look at the UW campus, a little peek at the Memorial Union Terrace, cloudy and gray.
Well, they talk a little bit about fog, and you can kind of see it.
Yeah, you can see it a little bit on that live picture. It's now been 2 months since 13-year-old Jamie Kloss went missing following the murders of both of her parents in their Barron County home.
And now much of the focus of this investigation has been shifted to here in Madison at the State Crime Lab. Their work began at the Kloss home in Barron within hours of getting the call. One of Wisconsin's crime scene response units filled with equipment to document and package potential evidence.
For the most part, we can do anything up into certain things that we can do in the lab.
Madison's state crime lab has handled the bulk of the forensics in the Kloss case.
Our #1 priorities have to do with the very most severe public safety threats. This case would fall into that scenario.
Crime Lab Bureau Director Nicole Ream says her team responds to nearly 100 crime scenes across the state each year.
What she does is the initial steps in the testing process to determine what biological fluids might be present.
Different light sources are used to find any stains in the first stages of DNA screening. The sheriff in Barron County says more than 100 pieces of potential evidence from the Kloss home have been sent to the state crime lab. Technology has taken over much of the lab work.
You're creating an impact in real time for real people, for real cases.
And as Bureau Deputy Director Jennifer Noggle explains, it's what keeps them motivated, searching for answers, just as they are again searching for Jamie.
All of us have joined this field because we want to have that impact.
The search continues. The Barron County Sheriff's Department confirms testing should be complete sometime this week.
And we will keep following that story for you. When we come back, on a much lighter note, holiday shopping ideas if you'd like to buy local.
That's what Shayna Mace is focusing on today, and she joins us next. Stay with us.
Good evening. Here is your Wednesday First Alert traffic update, taking a live look at Seminole Highway and the Beltline. No major incidents or accidents showing up there. Keep in mind, though, with the threat of some freezing drizzle and some fog, especially east of Dane County, there could be some slick spots on the roadways this evening and later tonight. but no accidents being reported as of now, and average speeds on the Beltline of about 15 to 25 miles per hour. So here are your drive times. Run Road eastbound to John Nolan. That is a little bit slow at 10 minutes. Average speed of around 25 miles per hour. And the other direction also looking a bit slow. The interstate to John Nolan, that's 7 minutes, an average speed of around 40 miles per hour. And that is your first alert traffic update.
Thank you, Dave. Santa made an early appearance today at American Family Children's Hospital, arriving by fire truck, spreading a little joy. Sponsored by Madison Firefighters Local 311. Santa has visited the Children's Hospital now for the last 58 years. He met first with young patients in the lobby, handing out gifts. And then for those who couldn't make it there, he went room to room. Local 311 donates funds to buy gifts for each patient at the hospital. Always a magical moment to see Santa visiting the kids there. And hard to believe there are just 13 days now until Christmas.
That's true. If you're looking for some gift ideas and you want to buy local, style contributor Shayna Mays, look at all of this stuff. She has you all set up with her holiday gift guide. Hi, Shayna. Good to see you.
We have more than enough to cover you. If you can't find something here, you're too hard to shop for. We'll just say that.
And you bought it all locally?
All locally, yeah. Definitely a variety of stores throughout the city. So let's start with kind of that go-to anybody on your list, right?
Yeah.
Whether that's a kid or a party host or something like that. Little Luxuries is great for that. They're kind of a catch-all store on State Street. Really great gifts there. Little Madison pouch here, and I love Little Luxuries because they had a lot of Wisconsin-themed things. So I think I know this author, our own, my former colleague Katie Vaughn from Madison Magazine. And then here's a Rebel Girl Journal, which is a very big theme, kind of like girl empowerment that we're seeing. Coloring books, they have other things like that at Little Luxuries. And
Don't
then
forget to show the pillow, too.
Yeah, other themed Wisconsin books, stuff like that. And then this is actually from Showette. This was a huge hit last year when I showed it, so I'm bringing it again. This is the Wisconsin pillow. It's beautiful for someone who lives near or far. I think they would really appreciate it. It shows the whole state, kind of really cool embroidery. So again, that's from Showette. So that kind of covers that one's in Middleton.
Okay.
Yeah. So other kind of fun things for the wine lover. You could get them this insulated wine tumbler, and then this is actually a candle that's made out of a wine bottle with a wine scent. This one's Sauvignon Blanc.
Wine-related gifts have really gotten so popular.
Yeah, wine-related. So, and then this
Where
is
did
one
you
of
find
my
the wine gifts?
That one's from Little Luxuries as well, and this is also from Little Luxuries. Also one of my favorite go-to gifts, and I've gotten this as a gift myself. City Tins. These are for Madison original restaurants, and it ranges usually $10 off your total restaurant bill for a variety of restaurants. I love it. Like I said, it's a great gift idea for someone who's
So there are gift cards in there.
There's gift. Yeah, they're like coupons essentially. So that one's from Little Luxuries as well. So then we move into kids, right? Kids are so much fun. Eric was looking at these before. Hunter Boots, which is a heritage brand.
His son is named.
My son's Hunter, so I can get a monogram without even getting a monogram.
So these are from Tradition Children's Market in Middleton. She has such great gift ideas there. Hunter Boots, obviously great for snow or rain. If you have a baby in your life, here we go back with the Wisconsin theme again. Swaddle blanket and a teether. Hat and gloves that are fleece lined. How cute is that with the rainbow on them? And then for girl or boy, which is great, these unisex jammies. Super durable. They're by Luna brand that owner Jen just says is a huge hit in her store. So, and then I have to show these because these are just to die for. She does such a great job in all of her outfit selections. Look at this.
Shayna's really a lot better at shopping for kids than she used to be, isn't she?
Yeah, I know. And then this is my favorite. I'm actually going to buy my daughter this too, don't tell her. But this Girl Strong brand is actually a Madison maker, and she has different themes: girl scientist, girl artist. So again, girl empowerment theme there. Yep. So all from Tradition.
How old is your daughter now?
She's 2.
Oh, okay. So she's the expert.
She's not watching live at 4.
No,
so
she's not
you're
gonna
good.
know. So it's okay. So then we kind of have a little bit more catch-all gifts again of just a few more downtown stores I love. Totem Art and Gifts. They are on the King Street area. This is like a natural Austin-based brand. It's a lotion bar, and if you're into more natural bath and body, they've got these great candles. Like again, these are just great for daycare teachers, school teachers, hosts, things like that. And then
that is such an important gift segment too. You know, trying to buy for all the teachers.
For sure. Definitely. Yeah. Everyone loves
Great
candles,
little
mostly.
gifts.
These cards are actually made by Jennifer, the owner, and they're hand drawn by her. They're adorable. They have all these adorable winter animals on them. I just have to show them. And she sells these. Yeah, she's an artist and graphic designer. So again, that's Totem Art and Gifts. And then kind of also along that bath and body theme, self-care theme, the soap opera downtown. This is one of State Street's oldest stores, oldest continuously running stores. This gift set, believe it or not, is only $21.99, I believe, and it comes with all of this. You can get, this is the lavender set, but you could get whatever scent you wanted, and they can custom scent things for you, and it still is $21.99.
That's
so
amazing.
great. And
that's
they can
one kind
do,
of like, I think, things people don't realize. They think just because you're buying local, you're buying more expensive. That's not always true.
No, and like the ingredients in here are really great. They're not like toxic ingredients, things like that. A lot of them are organic and it's still really good for you. So I was excited about that, and it comes wrapped for you already like this. So hi, just go and pick it up and you're done,
That's
right?
a piece of cake.
Perfect.
Yeah, so another really popular gift idea is a scent diffuser.
Oh, yeah.
I think Kelly and Ryan called it the gift of the year this year. So that's just putting your favorite essential oil in, and it can be energizing, it can be relaxing. Again, really great for anybody, man or woman.
This is a
just
beautiful
that
one,
self-care.
too.
Yeah, just kind of that self-care, providing a nice relaxing environment at home.
Eric, why is your boot on here?
That is, I already checked. It's 2 sizes too small.
Yeah.
This is only an 11.
So Context, I love Context. I talk about Ryan Huber and Sam Parker store Context a lot, but they're a men's store downtown on King Street. Those are the 113 boots. Those are made exclusively for Context. You will never find them anywhere else.
Made in the United States, too?
They're made in Wisconsin, actually. They're Thorogood boots, and those are one of their trademark products. They also do First Settlement Goods leather products, also made exclusively for Context. You can't find them anywhere else. And then a Norwegian merino wool sweater that Ryan and his crew really love. Keep that guy in your life really warm.
Very nice. That's on King Street,
That's
right?
on King Street.
Okay.
And then just a few quick ideas for women. I mean, all of these obviously apply. Gift tags, because who doesn't want to travel? So let's give the idea of travel and a fun gift tag. That's from Choette in Middleton. And then I just thought this, this little leopard cardigan, maybe it's more my style with the pom-poms, but I thought this was also a very fun gift idea as well. So, Choette in Middleton, downtown, they all have great gift ideas. And if you're still stumped on what to buy, you can buy a Downtown Madison Inc. gift card. So that will encompass like these downtown stores that we talked about, and then you could just say, here's $25, here's $50, here's $100, go spend it wherever you want. And I think you can even, and you can buy them at Overture Center, Downtown Madison, visit downtownmadison.com, and one other place. I can't remember where she told me, but there's also that option too. So for
those
someone
are
that's hard to
fantastic
shop
suggestions.
for.
A lot of great ideas here.
I want everything on this table. I love it.
Well, and a lot of these are things that we're seeing that are really hot, but are things that aren't so trendy that you can't use them for a long time. You know what I mean? They're self-care, they're travel, they're just useful, lovely things that people will appreciate.
And support local businesses.
That's right.
Most
Think
important
local
thing.
these last
Thank you,
12 days.
Shana.
Shana,
Great ideas. We'll see you next time.
We'll see you soon.
And we'll be right back.
Quick recap with Dave.
Winter weather advisory east of Dane County until midnight for the threat of some freezing drizzle and also some fog that will be across southern Wisconsin tonight. Temperatures staying in the upper 20s. For tomorrow, we'll notice that fog clearing out by the time we get to the mid-morning hours, and then a little bit of sunshine. Could have some more freezing drizzle Thursday night into Friday.
All right, Dave, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dave. Here's what's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4. Emmy Fink will be here with details on everything that's happening this weekend in the 608.
And if that includes some shopping, Donna Wyhoffen has her annual kitchen gadget recommendations tomorrow on Live at 4.